Mini pawn endgames are all about time and, of course, specific moves that can put the opponent in a Zugzwang. That's right. The Zugzwang is a situation in which certain player needs to make a move, and he really doesn't want to make that move, because whatever move he makes, he loses. Putting the opponent in a Zugzwang is something quite common in the pawn endgames. And that kind of tactic, that type of combination, is very familiar to us from many, many different positions. So let's have a look at this endgame. What we have here is a position in which white's a pawn up, and yet the main problem is that his pawn structure doesn't look so good. Especially that pawn on the a5 that's quite isolated, c3, and the others that seem to be doubled. The king, as a result, is being pushed back and isn't in the most active position available. So the question is, what should white do to try and win this endgame and prove that his extra pawn is really a significant advantage? Naturally, in this position, the move of pawn f4 wins. And it's not just because the move is good, because it certainly is good. The point is that when white plays f4, g takes f4, and king f3 takes place, we're able to improve the main problem, to really fix the main problem that we had in the earlier position, and that's the position of the king. By bringing it close to f3, we are ultimately intending to take the pawn or do some other things, and then black just can't do something. If he does king d5, we're going to take f4, so naturally he has to take that pawn. And now the point is that when he captures and we retake, his king has to retreat, and he's pushed backward. So it takes king d5, king f4, king e6. That's all we need. So when you improve the piece activity of the king, it's tremendous, because in the endgames, in most endgames, the king is knowing to have a tremendous value over the strategies or attacks or anything we want to do. Some people even say that when it's centralized or we're really well advanced, it's even stronger than as a rook. So you can imagine the high value of this piece. For example, what white needs to do is e4 attacking this pawn, and when black exchanges, white just goes to take c4 and freely push it so he can win. It's a very impressive example on resolving the main problem about the king's activity. In similar endgames, such a move is quite decisive.